What is up guys, it is Kwellen here, and before we start this video I am having serious tonsillitis right now and I can't really talk to you properly, and well that kind of hooks into the reason I haven't really been uploading, but it's not the full reason either. The reason I haven't been really uploading lately is not but sincerely because I don't like YouTube or anything like that. It's more for the fact that currently the games I play are dying, frankly, and it is quite upsetting, to be fair. I pre-ordered For Honor not so long ago when it came out, and I got it on day release. I didn't play any alpha, but I played every other stage possible. Now, I thought this was going to be a brilliant game, and in my eyes it still is, but a lot of the actual good fan base has dropped off now. So this is my video on the 3 ways For Honor can improve. However, I'm going to try and start uploading now, and I plan to start different series on the channel, and I plan to upload more help guides and especially one for Orochi. So let's start this video off with one of the main things, and I think most people can agree on. There are 3 things that are massively wrong right now with For Honor. Now this video does not include the community as a whole, because the community as a whole was made bad by these 3 things in my eyes. So everyone complains about a bad community, but this is just like Overwatch, where as soon as something bad happens, the community turns toxic to that one bad thing. E.g., Hanzo's a hard character to play, so as soon as someone pick Hanzo, they had to assume it's bad. So the first problem is characters. Characters at the moment are either really good and really balanced, but then there's the minority that people like to play but can't always play. Now this does link into one that I'm going to talk about later on, but for now let's talk about the characters. Currently Kensei, Berserker and Conqueror are useless in any form of competitive. If there was a competitive in this game, they would be utterly useless. They just can't do anything against the higher levels, and it's almost like why would you use a Tracer without having the boost in Overwatch again? I'm comparing to Overwatch all the time now. But you just don't use these characters because they're practically useless. The only thing they can do is feint and then use their main attack to try and open attacks. But any turtle character like Warlord can just, camp. Even Orochi can camp these guys out, and that really says something. So the first thing that they need to do is balancing issues. It's most of the time, it's not so much who's really good, it's more for the people that are really bad. And that's a good thing in a sense, because that means that something can be done, but that does mean they have to listen to the community. Now I'm going to put these two in the same category, as they are basically the same. Listening to the community by devs is something that they need to do a bit more, and I know this is coming from a 400 subscriber channel with only one actual really popular video, but I generally think that a lot of you guys out there could listen to the community better than they can. Obviously they're doing some stuff correctly, like they removed the sprint speed from the gear stats, which is a good move, and it should be considered because there is a boost for that. But it does feel like there should be more communication between the devs and the community itself. However, this isn't just a problem with devs in general. Sorry, this isn't just a problem with For Honor's devs. I think this is a general problem with developers at the moment. They're so pressing with their new ideas and how it's going to be good, so they want to try and make a new title that is good and they're going to do it their way. I can understand that logic to an extent, almost like the Call of Duty series at the moment. A lot of people don't like the new futuristic Call of Duties because they're different. They're so different. If they were released like that, they might be the better ones. In my eyes, I prefer the futuristic Call of Duties because it provides me with more mobility, and I'm used to playing games where I have a lot more space to move and strategies to use. However, I can understand why people don't like that. This ties into similarly to For Honor. For Honor is a very, it's a very constant, it's almost like a child. It needs attention constantly by some form of overlord, like a dev. Otherwise, it's just going to die off. Which this leads nicely into my next point now, competitive. Competitive needed to be in this game from release. I understand why it wasn't from release, but it needed to be. The way they should have done this, and the way they should still do this, is they should do it like a Rainbow Six Siege. And if you're wondering why I'm talking slower, it's because these devs clearly can't hear me. You need to do it like this. If you do it like the tournament fashion you're planning to, it is not going to work. People play to climb. Climbing is the main goal of competitive. Although tournaments can be fun, I am pretty sure they're going to die, and you can quote me on that if you want me to. I'm personally going to play competitive until the end of this game's lifespan. Till the end of all DLCs stop coming out, until every character I have is I'm good with to an extent. That's my stand on the game. I'm going to play it because I bought it. And I enjoy playing this game quite full of realism. But I honestly think that if they don't give it competitive like Siege soon, it's going to die. The reason it needs competitive like Siege is the climbing factor actually provides a goal of the game. You'll notice at the moment the only goal of this game is to get to, I don't know, Prestige 13 and kill everything. That shouldn't be the general goal of this game. I think this doesn't also help by the spectator mode. I'll link to someone called Infinity in the description that describes this issue a bit more in depth, but I personally can't talk more about competitive as I really don't understand why they haven't implemented it from the start. However, I can understand one thing though, and this is a point I also commented in Infinite's video. If they really were worried about overpowered characters running competitive and or underpowered characters, they could simply ban the characters that are turtling at the moment for a certain amount of time while they give them more direct attention so they don't have to. For instance, imagine a warlord which his headbutt used a lot more stamina than it did, and then also his area used tons more stamina. I know these aren't changes that should be made, but I feel like something like this would be able to balance out competitive nicely. And as long as overpowered characters or otherwise absoluting other characters, e.g. Lawbringer to Orochi, you wouldn't use Orochi because Lawbringer is too good compared to him. For instance, they could ban Warlord off the start and just give him the direct attention he needs, or even set up a competitive players almost like a pre. Oh, I'm trying to think of the word now. You put me on the spot. Oh, like a PC or testing version for the new buffs and stuff, so they don't have to implement it straight away. And this should be done. It needs to be done so characters either get balanced, so competitors can be implemented. And this finally leads on to the third thing. There needs to be more events. The main thing this game is based around is the faction war. Now, I'm not going to disagree, the first season's faction war was entertaining and the Vikings were quite good opponents for the Samurai and the Knights were just irrelevant. But it was really competitive to see your whole team, the streamers, get people to do stuff. It was really motivating. However, there has been no event besides one Forge and Temple Garden one, which is almost like Nuketown double XP. What's the point of having a faction war if you're not going to inspire a giant war between all factions, or a double, a really important place to take? And if, let's say, you take this zone and you hold them back for a certain amount of time, you will get these rewards. Not just wait until the end of the round, which is 14 days each day. Have those instant rewards on those days. Like, if you take this zone, bounty in place, either side of the faction, or maybe have one where all three can take, you can get certain amount of steel, you can get crates, you can even get special tier of gear. This is the kind of stuff that needs to be done to motivate people. However, again, I said I wasn't going to talk about this before, but the community will probably disagree with that. However, I generally think this is a good idea. Do you know what they could do as well? If they really want to make more diverse gameplay, they could also do it so that they have a morale factor in this game. I know this wouldn't be good for the most part, but let's say if the Knights have just been absolutely pwned by the Knights and Samurai and they've got 12 squares left. I think they should get a morale decrease where they're either super tired in the game, so therefore they lose stamina a bit quicker and reduces damage. Obviously these rules do not comply in the upcoming competitive or custom games, but in most casuals where they're, let's say, at the border of their land, let's say on Cathedral for instance, they should have a morale decrease, so therefore they can't do as much damage because they're not motivated enough, they're not serving anyone. They're meant to fight to the end, but it kind of makes sense if you get what I mean, if they're pushing back into their own. You can almost see this in the campaign too, where most of the soldiers just die instantly in the campaign because they aren't motivated enough to actually fight for Apollyon. Now this leads into my next little problem about this game. A lot of people didn't like the campaign, but you also have to remember this is a Ubisoft game and it's not necessarily built for the campaign, more for the competitive multiplayer. Although I can see why people get annoyed at the campaign, considering there is no competitive at the moment, but a campaign that is not good at all. You can't have one without the other. So I personally think in the next DLC they should make extensions to the campaign for people to complete, or in other words, make a better full immersive experience. But also, cool little another feature, there should be a theatre mode, almost where you can make your own campaign missions, like they did in the campaign. Believe it or not, I'm pretty sure that was made all in-game, which is absolutely astonishing when you think about it. And the amount of time they must have sunk in to actually get everything down in that campaign is pretty stupid. So I'm surprised it doesn't get the respect it actually deserves. So anyway, let's tie this all back to the point I just made about the faction war. The faction war currently is something dead, and considering the game is absolutely based around it, it doesn't make much sense for it not to have any meaning anymore, besides getting 2,000 steel and a few crates that are basically useless after, a few weeks after new DLC or something. It's absolutely pointless. But I can understand. Hopefully they reboot the faction war with competitive, with balanced characters, and they should also name people lords of each faction, because considering the streamers have completely died off this game, I think new lords need to be named. Keep yourself hit me up, I'm a samurai and Orochimain. Anyway, I've been Kwellen. Sorry for not uploading lately. There will be streaming in the future and more uploads, I promise. Have a good day. I've been Kwellen, and I'll see you all next time. And also, don't forget to subscribe, like, don't dislike unless you're for honor, and in which case you're okay to dislike because you're frankly not human. But if you want to play with me sometime, my game tag is Kwellen. I only play on Xbox, frankly, but we'll be hoping to move to PC soon. I've been Kwellen. Stay Kwellen. Have a good day.